Hello students, I am Shalini Saxena and today we will start chapter water part 3rd. In the last two lecture we have learned about source of water, common impurities of water, types of hardness, degree of hardness and units of hardness. Now we will discuss about determination of hardness of water. Hardness of water can be determined by several methods: EDTA method, Clark method, O'Hanner's method. Here now we will discuss about EDTA method. EDTA method is a complexometric method. EDTA, ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid, known as complexing agent. Here is a structure of EDTA. In this method we are using EDTA and EBT as an indicator. EDTA forms complex with calcium and magnesium and other metal cation. EBT is a complexometric indicator that is part of complexometric titration. Example, in the water hardness determination process, it is azodye. EBT is blue. It turns red when it forms a complex with calcium, magnesium or other metal ion. When used as an indicator in EDTA titration, the characteristics blue endpoint is reached when sufficient EDTA is added and metal ion is chelated by EDTA, leaving the free indicator molecule. The EBT is blue in unionized form, whereas its unionized form is wine red color. When hard water is titrated against EDTA solution, then EDTA or its sodium salt form complex ion with calcium and magnesium ion in water. The titration is carried out in the presence of indicator EBT. When indicator is added to hard water, which is buffered at pH 10, then it's combined when calcium and magnesium ion to form weak complex of wine red color. When an excess of EDTA is added, then color changes to blue due to EDTA complex. Thus, change of wine red color to distinct blue marks the endpoint of titration. Here is a reaction which show in titration calcium and magnesium ion react with EBT and form unstable EBT complex of wine red color. After that titrate against EDTA, then EDTA replace EBT complex and form stable EDTA complex of blue color. The blue color show due to unionized form of EBT. Procedure: Step first, standardization of EDTA solution. The burette is filled with EDTA solution. After washing and rising, pipette out 50 ml of standard hard water into a 250 ml conical flask. 10 ml of bubble solution and 2-3 drop of EBT indicator are added and titrate against EDTA solution until the wine red color changes to blue. Let the volume of EDTA solution consumed V1 ml. Step 2. Determination of total hardness of water. As per the same procedure, step first, 50 ml of the unknown water sample is titrated against EDTA. Let the volume of EDTA solution consumed V2 ml. Step 3rd. Determination of permanent hardness of water. 250 ml of water sample is taken in 500 ml beaker and boiled it till the volume is reduced to about 50 ml. Filter and wash precipitate with distilled water. Collect the filtrate and washing in 250 ml conical flask and made up the volume to 250 ml. 50 ml of this water sample is titrated against EDTA solution as in step first. Let the volume of EDTA solution consumed V3 ml. Now we'll discuss observation. Let volume of water sample taken for each titration 50 ml Volume of EDTA used when titrated against standard hard water sample V1 ml. Volume of EDTA used when titrated against hard water sample V2 ml. Volume of EDTA used when titrated against boiled hard water sample V3 ml. Now we'll discuss calculation. In step first, we will calculate the strength of EDTA solution. So 1 ml of standard hard water contain 1 milligram of calcium carbonate. So 50 ml of standard hard water contain 50 milligram of calcium carbonate. Volume of EDTA used when titrated against 50 ml standard hard water sample V1 ml. V1 ml of EDTA used for 50 milligram of calcium carbonate. So 1 ml of EDTA used for 50 upon V1 milligram of calcium carbonate, or strength of EDTA 50 upon V1 milligram per liter of calcium carbonate. Here V1 is a volume of EDTA used when titrated against 50 ml standard hard water sample. Step second. In step second, we will calculate the total hardness. Volume of EDTA used when titrated against 50 ml hardness of hard water sample V2 ml. Since 1 ml of EDTA used for 50 upon V1 milligram of calcium carbonate, V2 ml of EDTA used for 50 upon V1 multiply with V2 milligram of calcium carbonate. Here V2 is a volume of EDTA used when titrated against 50 ml hard water sample. Hence 50 ml hard water sample 50 upon V1 multiply with V2 milligram of calcium carbonate. So for 1000 milliliter hard water sample 50 upon V1 multiply with V2 upon 50 multiply with 1000. Total hardness V2 upon V1 multiply with 1000 ppm or milligram per liter. Step third. In step third, we will calculate the permanent hardness. Volume of EDTA used when titrated against 50 ml boiled water sample V3 ml. Since 1 ml of EDTA used for 50 upon V1 milligram of calcium carbonate, V2 ml of EDTA used for 50 upon V1 multiply with V3. So here V3 is a volume of EDTA used when titrated against 50 ml boiled hard water sample. 50 ml boiled hard water sample 50 upon V1 multiply with V3. For 1000 ml boiled water sample 50 upon V1 multiply with V3 upon 50 multiply with 1000. So permanent hardness V3 upon V1 multiply with 1000 ppm or milligram per liter. In last step, we will determine temporary hardness. Temporary hardness determined by total hardness minus permanent hardness. So formula for temporary hardness V2 upon V3 V2 minus V3 upon V1 multiply with 1000 ppm municipal water supply for domestic supply. So we will discuss firstly the agency playing an important role in specify the norms for various effluent are ISI, WHO, ICMR, USPHS. Requisites of drinking water. The essential requisites of drinking water are as follows. It should be clear, colorless or odorless. It should be good in taste. It should be perfectly cool. Its turbidity should be less than 10 ppm. It should be free from harmful gas like H2S. Its pH should be in the range of 7 to 8.5. It should be free from harmful metal, and its salt like arsenic, chromium, lead and manganese. Total hardness should be less than 500 ppm. Total dissolved solid should be less than 500 ppm. It should be free from disease producing bacteria and E. coli. Chlorides, fluorides, sulfates content should be less than 250 ppm, 1.5 ppm and 250 ppm.